Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Lisa. If it's your first time here, welcome. We were just finishing up our live with Mountain Grandma on the 7F goal setting 2022. And we were talking about winterizing the homestead. And today is a good day for me to do that because gone are the warm days. We've already had frozen water, and Sunday was in the upper 60s. And by Monday morning, we were in the upper 20s with a wind chill of 17 degrees. So it was really cold, really fast. So now I'm kicking myself because we've had a lot of frozen water. So today, luckily, we are in, I think we're about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick what our watering systems are now, and then I'm going to show you what we do for winter. So come on along, because a lot of people ask us, how do you get ready for the winter in South Dakota? So we're going to show you how it goes. One of the first things we do is we scale back on animals. So all of the meat turkeys have been processed, the pheasants have been processed in the meat pen down there. So those areas have been cleaned out. The pasture here was where Grant and Sherman were. We moved everybody up closer. So everybody is up here, which is closer to the house. And we're done with our gravity fed waterer. So we're draining the hoses, winding them up, putting them away, and getting the tank ready for winter. It'll just remain empty. There's our hay. We have 40 bales of alfalfa hay on the trailer, covered up under the carport because we should not have to worry about hail anymore. So the Dodge is out on the other side. And then we've got our stock trailer here, which has some of our fencing, our straw, and some leftover hay from the summer. So I'm down here and the pigs think they're getting fed. You already ate, silly gooses. So we've already got some water. And so we use those tire bowls. They're 16 quart feeders. We absolutely love them. I'm going to see if I can find them online and put a link down below in the description. And so we use them for summer so we don't waste as much water, because you dump water more often in the summer. This is the trough they can't reach. That's why there's pine needles from a windstorm we had. I'm going to clean that out, and that's what we're going to switch to for winter, so I can hook up a heating element in the stock tank. That's Norman's pen. He's going to be a little bit of a challenge because the piglet waterer, it's going to crack, so I've got to take it down. You can see there's ice in the bowl, but it's okay for him to drink out of. And because he requires a smaller vessel, I'm going to see if I can get him one of those electric dog bowls hooked up. Everybody's barn has been cleaned. Their pens need to be cleaned again because obviously we had a windstorm. That's why we have all these pine needles all over the place. For the turkeys, they have a galvanized waterer. And what we'll do for them is put a heated base under it instead of the brick that they have there. We've still got some chickens in the temporary coop, and they've been doing just fine. Their water has not frozen, which has been really good. And we're going to move the hens over to the main flock, and then we're going to probably dispatch the roosters and use them for soup chickens. Some of the girls and Dwight are molting. Some of them are not. They like to wait to molt in January and February for some strange reason. But we've got a few going through it right now. And even though they've just had their pen cleaned out, it's filthy again because that's homestead life, right? And so let me get everybody's water switched over and I'll show you what we do. And this is what I love about Eleanor. She's always the first one up. I got to level up the tank, but you can see I've got it all cleaned up. I got the other tire waterers out, and that's what they are. They're just inserts. And they're made to be a feeder, but they really hold a lot of water in the summer. So, and they don't get knocked over. So we'll scrub them up, but I will level the tank when I have to empty it the next time. But we put blocks up on either side, and that allows them to get to it. It's also a recessed tank on some seasoned 2x4s, just to try and keep it level of sorts. And then I'm going to rinse out the boys' feeders because they're pretty dirty and they've got some blocks of ice in them. And there's the stock tank water. We weave the cord through there to make sure that the pigs can't reach it, but it's still flat on the ground. And then I will attach an extension cord here. The turkeys have a heated base for their galvanized water. And so I clear everything underneath the water, any shavings and all that, and then leave it there and plug it in. And then it goes out through a vent there, which comes out here. And then they have a window that kind of fits in that I put in, and we will block those two back pieces off with some black foam that we use every year, and we just staple them on. It's still very vented. We have vents in here just like a chicken coop, but the turkeys, they don't even come in here half the time. There's Norman's setup. He has an electric heated dog bowl, and I have his other bowl next to him, and I picked up his pig water so that doesn't freeze, and I'm going to wash that and put that away. But once he figures out he can reach in the blue bowl, and when the other one's frozen, then I'll pick up the black bowl. Here's the chicken bowls, both electric dog bowls. As it gets colder, I will start to rake this out again and throw straw down, so that way they have something under their feet. And we've started deep litter method in the coop. So how do we keep it all powered when we don't have electric in our barns? Oh, don't do as I do, okay? We have this here, which is a GFI rated cord that will get plugged into the house for the pig stock tank water heater and the turkey water heaters, because they have a bigger draw than the dog bowls do. And so that way, it's an extension cord that is plugged in the house that will pop. We'll hear it. We'll also see it because it's an area that we pass by enough to check on, because we're pretty programmed to do that in the winter. And then everything else outside is extension cords. We do use extension cords that lock together, and the reason why we do that is because we do string them up on the trees, and we do that to keep them up above the ice and snow. It is far from ideal, and I don't recommend it, but I'm being real. That's what we've got, and that's what we do, and that's how we keep it all running. The good news is if it's a warmer day, I can unplug them outside and leave them be, and then plug them back in again at night, even though they do have the thermostats. So that's what we do. One of the other things that we do is the spigot is right there, and usually we will pull this hose straight on an angle, as straight as can be, and we leave it open and we disconnect it from the house. We have a quick connect at the house. Let me show you that. There's our quick connect. I can put a bucket under it if needed. If that is frozen, we do buckets from the inside of the house in the utility sink. That's why we put one in, aside from other reasons of taking care of chickens and other animals. That'll be good. And as always, as I'm filming this, I just got an alert across my phone that said above average temperatures for Halloween. But anyway, we're all set up for winter. These are the expandable hoses that I talked about. So, you know, they're flat. They do kink. They say they don't kink. They do. But I keep it in a muck bucket. I carry that outside if the spigot is not frozen, but the hose is, and I can't get water through it. These will explode in really cold temperatures. People have warned me about it, so be careful. But I hook up the hose, lay it out, I turn it on, use it, do what I gotta do, and then I reel it back in so it drains, and then bring it right back in the house. And it's really been a lifesaver. Anyway, we're all set up for winter, and you'll see our extension cords in the trees on nails that were already there. And again, like I said, not ideal, but it's the best we can do for now. So we are working on that. Other than that, chores are the same chores in the wintertime. They're just harder. You know, trudging through snow, we plow to get down to the animals. If the snow is really deep, the animals won't go out. They'll stay inside of their own choosing. Their barns will stay open 99% of the time. I've never closed the pigs' doors, except when they were piglets. So I don't foresee having to do that. However, if it is that brutal, we do have the potential to close doors, put them in there with water, so that way they're safe and out of the wind. One of the other things is just being ready. I mean, we have gotten in the practice of being in a rural area, and what that means is making sure you have extra feed, making sure you have extra food, making sure you have everything you need for your animals. If I fill up a bucket of water and I don't use it, I bring it back in the house, because you never know if the power is going to go out. If we feel that there's a storm coming and the power may go out, we do have a generator and we have lots of extra gas. However, we also will take the bathtub and fill the bathtub up with water, and also fill the utility sink and fill buckets up. So we have extra buckets around to at least get us started off. The good news in the winter is the water stays cold, so it doesn't turn green like it does in the summertime. And the good news about that is you can just add to it. What ends up happening is the pigs get a lot of dirty sediment in there, but it settles. And so usually every 2 to 3 days, I refill the entire tank. But other than that, all I'm doing is bucketing out a couple of things of water. And that's why I have a bucket hanging over it. And then pouring some buckets in to make sure the water stays fresh. So that's important. They need fresh water that is free of ice. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions new to cold climate or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. What are some of the things you do, and what are some questions you may have, because I'd be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Take care.